Hey everybody, how's it going? So I'm starting a new series, and I don't know if it'll be a series. I don't know if it's just a one-off. I think it'll be a series of what I consider to be masterful vocal performances. And I got to start today with one of my top five vocalists, rock and roll vocalists of all time. And I'm talking about Burton Cummings from the Guess Who. And the song that I'm going to be breaking down today, and I don't know necessarily breaking down more, I'm just going to be talking about how much I love this song, how incredible Burton Cummings' vocal performance is on the song Undun. It was actually released as the B-side to their song Laughing in July of 1969. The song was written by Randy Bachman, and it was based on an experience he had had where he'd been at a party and he saw this girl slip into a coma after she had too much LSD. And he also took a line from the Bob Dylan song Ballad in Plain D. The line was, "She was easily undone." So Bachman took that and he turned it into one of the greatest rock and roll songs of all time, in my opinion. Canned Wheat was the fifth studio album by Canadian band The Guess Who. It was released in September of 1969 and only got to number 91 on the Billboard charts, which is a shame. I mean, you got Laughing on here, an early version of No Time, Undun, obviously. It's a solid album. I think their next album, American Woman, would certainly do better, and I believe the single American Woman was one of the highest charting to date. But this is still a very cool album. But we're here to talk about one particular song on this album, which for me is a top five song. One of my favorite songs of all time. It's definitely in my top five rock and roll songs. I love this song so much. And not only is it the arrangement, it's got kind of a cocktail jazz, very smooth like butter arrangement, thanks to the brilliant guitar work of Randy Bachman. But it is the freaking vocal performance by Burton Cummings on this song that if it doesn't make the hair stand up on your arms, you really need to check your pulse. I got to tell you, this song gives me chills every single time I hear it. So it starts off, it's got a very jazzy arrangement. You've got some jazz guitar lick, and it doesn't get loud. In the first verse, what I love about Burton Cummings' voice is he knows how to control it. He just doesn't start right out of the gate knocking you over the head with his voice or trying to show off. He starts off very smooth. It's a very understated first verse. The way that he sings the first verse and his phrasing, it's very cool, but it's very understated. He doesn't unleash the full power of his voice until we start getting a little bit closer to the middle of the song. So this is how he sings the first verse.
She's come undone. She didn't know what she was headed for. And when I found what she was headed for, it was too late.
If he had sang the entire song that way, it would still be freaking amazing. But get to the second verse, and that's where he totally lets loose and blows your hair back.
Came the time to realize, and it was too late. She's come undone. She didn't know what she was headed for.
Holy freaking moly. And what I love about the second verse is now you've got a little bit of rawness to his voice. First verse, silky smooth, sounds like a crooner, but then now we're getting into a little bit of R&B, starting to give us his full range, and holy shit, I mean, I'm serious, like I get chills every time I hear that. I want to back it up and listen to it again, and I will because it's my freaking video.
And it was too late. She's come undone.
All right, and that's not even the best part of the song, at least as far as I'm concerned. So now we get a little bit of little vocal scatting from Burton as we head into the instrumental bridge. played on flute. I believe Burton Cummings is actually playing the flute. And I'm normally not a big flute fan, but I love the instrumental part of this song.
She's come undone. Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
The next verse starts off with very much a measured approach to the vocal phrasing until we get to the end. It was too late. And then he kicks it up a notch, like almost shifts it into another gear.
She didn't know what she was headed for. And when I found what she was headed for, it was too late. She's come undone.
And then we're into the last verse with the payoff at the end.
And when she found out she couldn't fly, Mama, it was too late.
Who else could sound like that back in 1969? I'll wait. Robert Plant? Anybody else? I can't think of any. That's how amazing Burton Cummings is. And he doesn't get enough credit for it. Why isn't his name in the conversation when we're talking about the greatest singers of the 60s or the 70s? Just amazing. Again, I'm going to play that again.
Mama, it was too late.
Amazing. All right, the last clip that I'm going to play is the last vocal that you hear to fade out the song, the crescendo, if you will, the send-off, but the last vocal acrobatic from Burton Cummings is the final line of the song, and here it is.
She's come
and that, my friends, is a masterful vocal performance. You're welcome.